That's me. I've been in trouble because I didn't. Another definition is to perceive or recognize. Can you recognize an opportunity? Can you recognize when God has set something before you that's supposed to expand and explode and be something great? Can you perceive that this thing is going to be better than what it looks like right now? And a lot of times we get in trouble because our perception is off, because our judgment is turned on instead of our discernment. And so what we do, we're going to go and we're going to look up at the scriptures. We're going to look at somebody who was good at it and who was just like us, that was on the verge of something great and didn't know what to do. See, what's wrong is that we so prideful, we are like we know what to do in every situation when we don't. It's okay to say, I don't know, but I want to learn. And so you have to have a teachable spirit when you're in the place of discernment, because you can't afford to mess up. How many can't afford to mess up right now? I can't afford to make the wrong decision, the wrong choice, because too much of my life is at stake. Okay. Well, let's go to the scriptures. It says Solomon loved the Lord, walking in the statutes of David his father. Only he sacrificed burnt offerings in high places. Now, Solomon, just to give you a little history, Solomon was the son of David. He was a son that was ignored. His mother and father came together really behind lust. His daddy looked up on the wall, saw his mother, hollered at her. She didn't hear him. He said, go tell her. I said, come on up here. I want to talk to her a little bit. She went down there. He hollered at her. You know, they smashed. And he sent her back home. Just trying to put it where you can understand it. He sent her back home and told her, go back to your husband, because she was somebody else's wife, and act like it's his baby. And he goes back, and the guy has so much integrity, the guy won't lay with her because they're in the midst of a battle. And he said, I can't go and enjoy my wife when I left men on the battlefield who can't enjoy their wives. Lord, where the integrity of the people. He had so much integrity, he wouldn't even sleep with her. So when David found out that he couldn't cover up what he'd done, he took him and gave him a note and told his commander, send him into the hottest part of the battle so that he dies. He sent him into the hottest part of the battle, and he was killed. He was murdered. After he was murdered, David went and took his wife. And then he going to act like everything, like, yeah, I just got her, we just. And the Bible said the Lord judged him. Sometimes what you can hide from people, you can't hide from God. He went away. The Bible said the child was born and the child was sickly. Immediately David knew what this was about. The Bible said he fasted and prayed. He walked around. He had ashes. He wouldn't eat. He wouldn't drink nothing. And the child died after 3 days. They thought he was going to lose his mind. But he got up. He washed himself. He went and worshiped. He repented. He said, God, I know I did this. He went and comforted Bathsheba again. And she had a second child, and this is the son. Now, the Lord punished him, and he said, my sin is ever before me. Every time I look at it, I know I did wrong. And what we fight is we fight facing what we've done. Oh, I know not y'all. Y'all just so religious. It's hard when you know you don't dog somebody. When you don't mishandle. I know y'all don't do that. I know y'all ain't never did that. I'm talking about some real people who don't misjudge some people, did them wrong, didn't act appropriately with them, and then you got to face it. So he had to face what he done, and he couldn't handle it. But he went and he had another child. He married the woman. He had another child, and this was the child. And God named the child Jedediah, meaning beloved of Jehovah. Because God loves when you go clean up and do it right. See, you so worried about what you jacked up and messed up and how you were off, but God loves it when you clean it up and do it the right way, my God. I'm so glad that I can go clean it up and go back to God and say, yeah, I jacked up. I'm the one. I was crazy, off, wrong, did it wrong. But you come back and you accept it and give me another chance. And you love it. He said he loved him. He loved him, named him Jedediah, meaning loved of Jehovah. I love it when you get it right. See, while everybody else get mad when you get it right, because when you straighten up your life and you really get on target, everybody get mad, but God gets excited When things start working out for you, when you realign yourself with your purpose and your goal, and you walk into the vision that was planted for your life. See, let me tell you something. Every one of us in here got a vision, a purpose that's been destined for us. And you know what? The enemy fights you from the time you came out the womb, that vision, that purpose will never come to pass. And he will put obstacles and people in your way to discourage you. He will let a spirit of fear come and attack you, that you'll be fearful to be who you've been destined to be. Great. Come on, say I'm great. I'm destined to be great. I'm not trying to be that. That's just who I am. See, when you understand that you ain't trying to, that's just simply you were created to be great. It's simple as that. You were created to be awesome. It's simple as that. And everything in your life attaches to you to tell you that you're mediocre, that you're average. Some of y'all, he's even told you you're below average, but it's a lie. We were created to be great, and so this is the seed that's coming out of here. And what has happened, his father has died, and now his father ignores him his whole life. I want to talk about those who've been ignored. His whole life, all through his childhood, no mention of him. They talk about all his other brothers, all his sisters, but no mention of Solomon. Let me tell you something. They may not say your name, but at the right time, they won't be able to deny it. They may not give you credit, but it is a set time. Nobody will be able to take your place. Don't get upset when they don't push others ahead of you. It's all right. Because when it's my time, I'm going to be able to stay. I'm not just going to entertain. I'm going to reign. Come on here, somebody. I'm not just going to step in position. I'm going to take possession of it. He was ignored. He was ignored. And it's sad. You like, darn, they don't even mention him. They don't say anything about him. And then all of a sudden, when it's time to take the throne, he comes up and they said, you. His mother comes and said, listen, I ain't asked you for nothing. I ain't took nothing from you. You don't ignore my child. You don't ignore me. All your other wives, I was fine living my life. You came and took me from my husband. You came and took me from my life, and I just went. You've ignored me. You've ignored my son. You pushed us to the side, but she said, now is the time. I won't let you deny him of this. I know y'all already got somebody else planted and slated for this, but this belongs to me. See, there's some things that other people already said they're going to have, but they can't have it because it's for you. See, you have to understand that there comes a time and a place that nobody can take your place, because the only one destined to possess it is you. He goes in there, and Solomon and David cannot deny her. And he gives the throne to this young man. But he's a young man, and he's never even been around politics. He's never ruled over anything. And now he is expected to step into this great place and rule over this great people. And he said, how do I do it? Isn't that what we do? We struggle because we've been asked to do something great that we haven't really seen anybody do up close. You don't see people on TV do it, but you ain't seen it up close, that you say, how am I going to do that? How am I going to do that and not be fearful to do what I've never seen done up close? I've never done it before, but I know that I've been birthed. I've been born to do this. I mean, is there anything, I've just been born to do this. I didn't know at first. I was uncertain, but now today I know this is my purpose. Come on, y'all. There's some things you were destined to do, and this is this boy, and he recognized that he's young and he's inexperienced, and he's been called to do something. So what do you do when you know you're called to do something and you don't really know how to do it, or you know you can't afford to fail at it? Somebody just say, I can't afford to fail. Too many people want to look and say, I told you so. I can't afford to fail. And somebody already said, you don't supposed to do that. You're not that choice. I didn't pick you. You was not the one that I chose to do this. So you can't afford to fail because the expectation is that you are already going to fail. Now say it out your mouth, I am not going to fail at this. Come on, say it again. I'm not going to fail. You got to say it with a little attitude, because you need to hear yourself have that confidence to know that you're not going to fail. I don't care if I ain't never done it before. I don't care who failed before me. I don't even care who failed beside me. All I know that where I'm standing, my position, I will not fail. Oh, I wish somebody believe this and get a hold of this, because words are spirit and life. And if you begin to grab hold and begin to speak out your mouth, you will walk right into your destiny. So he said, I came. So what he does, he goes to the Lord. And the Bible says Solomon loved the Lord. See, what his mama was teaching him, while everybody was learning other things, he was learning to love God. Somebody got to teach you how to love God. I know you thought you just know that how to love him. And say, I did not know how to love God. I did not know, because I didn't even know how to love me. I thought I knew how to love other people, because we think sex is love, so we good at sex, and we think we good at love. Two totally different animals. And so what happens is you have to be taught how to love properly. See, there's a difference in love and proper love. Come on here. There's some things we know how to do, but are you doing it properly? You can know how to eat and food be coming all out your mouth and not know how to use your utensils properly. So you can know how to do something and not know how to do it properly. And see, when God comes to deal with you, he wants you to know how to do it properly. Because there's a method that you do that says this thing is done in excellence. See, this is what's going to separate you, because mediocre and average is going to be your enemy in what you're about to do. See, that's why this thing is so imperative, because you're not going to do it like everybody else. It's a way that you do it that somebody's going to say, now that's done in excellence. Now that, I ain't seen it done like that before, with that level of passion and power and drive and creativity. And that's what's going to cause you to outshine everybody else who's doing what you do. So he goes to God, and God, his mother teaches him to love God. She said, this is the way to greatness. By learning to surrender yourself to him. Because it's in you surrendering yourself that he's going to give you the confidence when people think you're not capable. This is what you do so you can look them in the face when they try to crush your self-esteem and say, I'm still able to do this. When they question you and look at you and try to stare you down and tell you that you're not the one, you will be able to stand in the midst of it and say, I am the one. Good God Almighty, it is me. I'm here and I'm not moving. I'm not changing. You can't look me down. You can't back me up. You can't make me give up. I got a momentum. I got a drive. I got a power. I got a force behind me that told me that I'm destined for this, and nobody can convince me otherwise. See, too many of you have been talked out of your destiny by good-meaning people who didn't think you were capable. But see, the thing about everybody don't know what you're built of. They don't know what it took for you to get where you are right now here today. They don't know the level of brokenness that you don't came out of. They don't know how you've had to overcome your own issues about yourself. Forget other people's issues with you. You had to come against your own issues within yourself of feeling maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I missed the mark, or maybe I'm not capable. See, that's why you can't let nobody, because you know what it took for you to even get to this place, to shake fear off of you, to try it. You know the confusion you had to fight in your mind, to make up in your mind, to just go ahead and try it anyway. See, nobody knows like you the battles in your mind, how you had to cast things down and pick up hope. Come on here. How you had to cast things down and pick up determination. How you had to cast things down and pick up enough confidence to say, I'll try it. I just wish somebody was real up in here. So he understood that. So he was walking in the statutes of David, his father. See, now, he had to walk from a distance. The hardest thing is try to follow somebody when you're not directly behind them. He had to follow his father from a distance because they didn't pull you up close. So you had to learn from the outside. He had to still look and see where he was and know how to do it. He had to hear other people say, oh, your dad was in worship yesterday. He said, oh, that's where I'm going to be today. He wasn't up close and personal. So the Bible says he sacrificed burnt incense in high places. See, what you understand, when you've been real low, you got to fight. You got to go up in high places. You got to be able to see things from a perspective that nobody else does. See, that's why you have to do your research. That's why you have to study. That's why you got to pray. That's why you can't just do what everybody else doing. There's a whole nother, and you get upset when people put a demand on you. But the reason why the demand is put on you, because that's the only thing that presses excellence out of you. See, when the demand is on you, it pushes you into a place where you will have no other choice but to press our excellence. And we get upset because we want to do it our own way. We don't want nobody telling us what to do. But not in this hour. You can't afford to be unteachable and untrainable. You can't afford to be driven by pride and arrogance. You're going to have an ear to hear and discern that this is the words of wisdom, of help, that's going to push you to your next level. He went to high places. You going to have to look at this thing and see it the way nobody else can see it. See, the problem is you got people who looking at you at the same level, and so you can only see it the way they see it. And that's why if you look at any great leadership, they say you have to get somebody who's doing something greater than you so they can tell you from a different perspective that it's possible. Because if not, you'll be locked in to the same perspective as everybody else. Whew. The Bible said, and the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer upon that altar. When you go to give your sacrifice, it cannot be average, or it can't be mediocrity. What does sacrifice mean? It means a surrendering of a possession to use as an offering. If you're going to give yourself to law, you can't just be like every other lawyer who just take the bar and pass. You're going to have to go, if you're going to be the Secretary General, you got to learn the law and study the law after you get after the bar. You got to keep studying the law and be up on the laws, because your perception of the law has got to be at a whole nother level than everybody else who went to law school with you. Because if you're going to lead in the way of the law and have an understanding to be able to change the policy regarding the law, you have to have an in-depth study and knowledge and information of the law that other people looked over and missed it. So what happens is that there has to be a whole nother level of surrendering yourself to the thing that you say you want. It requires a whole breaking. That sacrifice is a breaking in you to give yourself to that thing. If everybody else doing an hour, you do 3. Come on here, somebody. If everybody's studying one thing, you study 2, because of the surrendering, because of where you got to go in it, because of all the weight that's on the line. There's a whole nother level of surrendering and breaking in you that you're going to have to go down in yourself, that you have a height of a perception that nobody else can see but you, that will cause everybody to look to you for direction in that area. He offered what his daddy couldn't give. He gave something that he had seen nobody else give before. See, you have to say, okay, if I'm going to be this, I'm going to do what I don't see nobody else do. Example. I'm a designer. So usually collections are 15 to 20, maybe 30 pieces. I do 100. Because to me, once I get through with one, I start on another one. Because if I believe what I say, I have to keep creating and keep pressing in places that nobody else does. I got to keep looking and stretching in areas that nobody else will. While people sleeping, I'm saying, oh, let me go take a picture of that. Let me draw that. Anything inspires me, immediately I get on it. I'm thinking about patterns and colors and cuts of the suit or of the dress, because I understand that I got to bring 1,000-fold. He brought 1,000-fold to the table. His level of expectation matched the level of excellence he wanted to get out of it. We want to give poorly and we want an excellent return. I tell the models, you want to walk? Oh, but I walk. See, when you really discipline, you're going to walk, and then you're going to watch walks, and then you're going to walk again, and you're going to keep walking. And every time you turn around, you're going to be walking and posing till they think you're a live mannequin. They think you're alive. What is going on? Until they just confused about what you're doing. But you understand what you're going to have to put in for what you're looking out of it. There is a demand, that sacrifice, that breaking, that surrendering of what you're giving. If you want the best marriage in the whole world, you got to give a breaking into that marriage that you have not seen. If you really want to be the woman that every man not just desires but needs, there's another breaking in you to be like, darn, I need that. I need that. I can't even live without that need. Not desire, because desire come and go. But you can die and not get what you desire, but you'll die if you don't get what you need. There's a different type of dying that's involved, and you got to say, I'm so willing to be that. I'm willing to be broken in that. I want to be the husband that nobody else saw. There's a level of surrender and breaking in me that requires for me to come out of that and say, I'm something that nobody ain't saw. They never saw a husband like that. They never saw a father like that. They never saw a business owner like that. There's a whole nother surrender. But we lack the discipline. But Solomon put it on the altar. He didn't just go and surrender. He said, God, I'm giving you this. Faith without works is what you want ain't living because you ain't put it on the altar. Sometimes you got to say, God, this is what I'm bringing to you. I brought you my study time. I'm bringing my walk to you. I'm bringing you what I read. I want to put it on the altar. I'm bringing you what I studied. I need you to anoint what I studied. Open up my mind. Give me revelation. Open up my mind. I was just this week, I say, Lord, anoint me to network. Because I know how to meet people, but I need an anointing to meet the people who going to move me to the next level. I need an anointing. So anoint my networking. See, I put the networking on the altar because that's something that is very necessary in my line of work. I need to know how to network with people in order to connect with the right people so they can do the right thing. You can have all the money and still don't have the network and don't go nowhere. I said I need to be anointed to network, so I had to put the networking on the altar. Who's going to help me that when I move, I'm not moving to the wrong side of the room? Give me the words saturated with wisdom when I speak that they hear something different. Okay, y'all ain't ready. Let me just go ahead. I'm going to help somebody. If it ain't nothing but me, amen. The Bible said, and Solomon said, thou hast showed unto thy servant David, my father, great mercy, according as he's walked before thee in truth. You ain't honest. See, it don't matter. I'm jacked up, but I'm truthful. See, that's what God do. Why God keep blessing him? He ain't right either, but I'm truthful. See, you lying about where you are. I be like, God, it's me, the jacked up one, the worst child you got, but I'm yours. Yeah, I'm the one. It's me again. Help me. See, one thing I'm not afraid to admit that I'm jacked up, and I'm not afraid to ask for help. Lord, help me. You know it's me. Now, you know already. It's me again. You know how I do. Help me. You know my mind be going all off the Richter scale. Lord, help me. I've been in my flesh. Help me, Lord. I know you don't put a piece on supposed to say that. But see, the reason why God can't honor you because you're still lying. See, one thing you ought to be truthful about is you. Your heart, your intent. Sometimes I say, God, my motives ain't right with this. I'll meet somebody, I'll be like, my motives ain't right. They be like, oh, you're so nice. I said, baby, you don't even know. You don't even know, baby girl. Yeah. But I have to go because God respects that. Because then he can move her in truth. But while I'm lying, it's the deception. He said, I'm walk before thee in truth. David, you know what? David was jacked up. He was an adulterer. He was a murderer. He was a lust bucket. How gonna walk on their wall and say, dang, all of that? David was like, darn, come over here. David had some good vision. How you gonna look way up there on top of the wall and see the booty way down there on the ground? And send somebody to fetch it to you. You know that's lust. on a whole nother level. That's lust on a whole nother level. Come on, let's just be honest. That's lust on a whole nother level. But what God respected when God called him, he was talking about, no, I didn't do it. Wasn't me. I did not see her. I was looking at them trees over there, and then I didn't even see her. And then somebody said she had asked me, she had a question to ask me, and she got He was honest. Do you know it's hard to be honest about things that are painful and truthful about you that may be embarrassing? But God honors that truth, and that's why he honored David. And he kept blessing him. He said, boy, you jacked up, but I keep blessing you because every time I come to you, you don't go into denial. And see, sometimes God got to persuade you, like, come to you 4 times. And be like, nah, I'm going to ask you one more time. You like, did you mean, like you know what he meant the first time. And then we got like, was I where? Was I at the liquor store? That wasn't Kool-Aid. Oh, it was something in the juice? Oh, my God. I knew it tasted funny, but I wasn't. That's what that was. I knew there was something in there. I ain't going to talk about Cassia and that mimosa, but this is a story about Cassia. Don't tell her I told you, but so me and Cassia was in London, and we was in the VIP reception. She was like, oh, I'm so thirsty. So I said, Cassia, come on, go with me. We're going to go into the VIP area, and they had stuff in there. So they had these glasses, and they had orange juice, and it was for orange juice. So Cassie was like, you want orange juice? I said, yes. So I go over there, and I'm drinking the orange juice, and she drank the orange juice. And then so, she said, ooh, this tastes funny. Now, mind you now, it ain't been that long for her, long time for me. I was like, what is it? I said, it do taste funny. She said, ooh, I ain't going to drink no more. I don't think something in it. Now, I don't drunk mine. I'm thirsty. And then she said, ooh, Papa, I think something in this. I said, something like what? And then I said, ma'am, and that lady was like, oh, it's champagne and orange juice. I said, oh, you devil, you knew what that was. No, I didn't. Ooh, Papa. I said, oh, I'm going to tell the saints on you. Devil. She said, I did not know. That's why I didn't drink that much. Now, when I was back in the day, nobody put nothing in orange juice. Orange juice was just orange juice. I don't know who thought of that crazy mess. But, yeah, I really didn't. I was like, you go to different countries, the orange juice tastes different. So I'm thinking this is a different taste of orange juice. Cassie's talking, no, Papa, I thought something was in it. No, devil, you drank, I don't. So you would know that something was in the orange juice. You see what I'm saying? So when you go to a foreign country, don't drink the orange juice. Listen, that's a story. If you go with Cassie, just definitely don't drink the orange juice. Because she'll let you drink it and then tell you about, child, something was in that orange juice. Yeah, nah. Tell her that, Megan. Listen, so he said, according to his walk before thee in truth and in righteousness. Now, listen, righteousness does not mean perfection. Righteousness means your ability to recognize your error and correct it. See, we keep trying to be perfect. The Bible says, let me tell you something. Let me just get y'all over this. Because, see, some of y'all think y'all good in here. The Bible says there's none good but the Father. You ain't good, and neither am I. It's nobody good. He said nobody is good but God. So I'm a good person. You're lying. When people tell me that, I'm like, that's a lie already. You is not good. Because I ain't good. We can do good deeds that don't make you good, a good person. We can be morally right, but you want to be righteous. You want righteousness when you recognize that you're in error, that you correct it. That's how you want. I want to be righteous because if I'm doing wrong, I don't want to continue to do the wrong thing. I want somebody to tell me, and then I come so I can correct what I'm doing to be better at it. And the Bible says, in uprightness of heart with thee, meaning that my heart got to be, I keep dealing with my heart. My heart is jacked up still. I ain't realizing until even this past weekend, I'm like, Lord, I still got issues in my heart. I know y'all don't be real like that. I'm like, Lord, I got trust issues. You go through a divorce and you will deal with trust issues. I got trust issues. I don't know how to trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't trust but so far. So I'm like, don't trust you like that. But then I say, Lord, help me, because I be like, you trust me? I be like, yeah, I think so. And then God said, that's a lie. You don't trust that man at all. But yeah, you don't want to tell people like, oh, I just don't trust you, Why? What did I do? Because they ain't did nothing for you not to trust them. You just don't. And so we rather just lie than to say, listen, because of my brokenness, trust is a process for me. So that's what I'm having to say. Trust is a process. It ain't nothing you get instantaneous from me. And I apologize. And if you can't handle that, then you have to move on. Because we're afraid of loss. Because, see, honesty, when you get really honest, people say, I can't take that. They'll walk away. But people who supposed to be in your life, they'll stay because they'll trust the process. If they got true, real intentions, they can stay because they know their intentions right. But people who are not sure about their intentions, they got to go because they don't want to waste their time. I don't know why I said that. But anyway, what he said was, he said, listen, thou hast kept this from this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne as is today. He said, you gave him a son to sit on the throne. Why else they wouldn't eat it? It was hereditary. Usually if you go succession, you know one of your sons going to sit on the throne automatically. But listen how he talks. What he was saying is that I'm a real son because I got the heart of my father. Because he had another brother who didn't have his father's heart, who had meeting people at the gate telling them to turn from his father. See, sometimes people you pick don't pick you back. Ew. You picked them, but they didn't pick you back. Come on here, somebody. You better discern who picking you back. Because we pick people and we select them, but they didn't select you back. And so we get out because we chose them, but they didn't choose us back. So what you're doing in your process, you better make sure whoever you choose is choosing you back. He said, I'm a real son. I picked you and you picked me back. You picked him and he didn't choose you back. He chose himself over you. Then they would discern it. Come on, verse 7. And now, O Lord my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David, my father. And I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or to come in. Why can't we be honest and say, I don't know what I'm doing? When it comes to love, I do not know what I'm doing. I don't know. When it comes to love, I don't know what I'm doing. Because I be thinking I'm doing the right thing, and then I be like, oh, that was off. I think I'm communicating, and be like, you ain't communicating enough. I said, darn. I called you twice. And I sent a text. I'm not a texter. I can't keep texting every 15 minutes, everything you say. I am not going to respond like that. I just save it all up and talk one time. Like you keep wanting a response on every little thing. I'll be like, okay, all right. But when we talk, I'll just answer all of them at one time. Wouldn't that save time? Like, darn, I can't auto-correct because I ain't going to keep correcting it. However it come, spelled wrong, everything, it's gone. I'm not going to do all of that. You sure you got a master where that's from? I sent my best friend, I sent Ian, I was talking to him. He told me, where your master's from? He told me, I'm going to send this text to Rutgers. They're going to ask for their degree back. I looked at it, I was ashamed. It looked like Abraham type there. She probably would have spelled it better. Listen, I looked through there, I think only like 5 words was correct. Listen, I ain't care. I said, you understood it, right? Listen, he said, I'm ashamed, Lord. Listen, and now, Lord my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David, my father. God still have chosen you over succession. I don't care who was supposed to be great. He chose you. Who they thought was going to be it and do it is you. See, what you have to do is we get upset, but it's okay because he has to cut us from a different cloth. He has to do things differently for us. That's why we just want to be like, okay, I'm going to tiptoe through the tulips and everything going to be fine. And it don't happen like that for us. Like, you like, but darn, I barely got through the wilderness. I drugged through the wilderness. I came through there with one leg. I'm sweating. I'm like, Lord, I can barely make it. And you sitting there, we don't get that tulip We don't get the tulip experience. We get there, we don't been pressed and tears. We be half looking crazy. By the time we get there, it's a different process for us. Because for other people who are not destined to be there, it's easy. Because they're not supposed to be there and they're not going to stay. But people who purpose to be there, it's going to get tough for you to get there because you're a life changer. You change destiny and lives. Let me tell you something. I was talking to my cousins. I was at my family reunion down south in Atlanta. And the Lord was just speaking to me, and we were talking about influence. And I was telling them a story about poison ivy. That when you see people, I saw this guy. We have, y'all know in the country, we have our own grave site. Graham Cemetery. So you know we in the country. My family got their own cemetery. Who does that? I'm going to buy this land for when we die. Everybody going to have a place there. I'm like, that's a little weird. Like, I just think it's a little weird to buy a plot for everybody to dump dead bodies in. But, you know, hey, that's just me. And so I went out there to see, you know, I was showing Andrew them around, and we were talking about the guy was out there, he was taking care of it. And he was saying, he was spraying for poison ivy. And then I said, well, why are you wetting all the ground around it? He said, everybody looks at the plant. He said, but the influence is under the ground. He said, the plant is here, but the perimeters of the poison is the influence around it to spark up everywhere else. What you're seeing manifest is only a small substance of what's really going on underneath. Let me tell you something. That's how the enemy is. See, that's why they're out to destroy you, and you don't even understand what it is to really be destroyed. You think the enemy trying to kill you. He don't want to kill you. He want to destroy you. Because, see, you're ain't poison, but you're that influence all around you. See, everybody you encourage, everybody you help, everybody that you don't look out for has the ability to pop up what was in you, in them, that seed, whatever you spoke, wherever you helped them, that hand you gave them, it makes a difference in their life. And they want to destroy the influence of who you are. And see what they do, they after the plant, but they don't know what's really is underneath. The influence of what you're doing now, you have no idea. There are people that's way on the other side. You won't even know about them. They're not going to tell you what you did have touched their lives. When I went there, I was so blessed, and what led me to that story, I was there, and my uncle, he never really says much. He pulled me to the side, and he said, come here. And I was like, so I said, yes, sir. And he said, I want to let you know how proud I am of you. And I was like, thanks, and, you know, I was just going to laugh and go on. He said, no. He said, I want you to understand. He said, the guts and courage that you have. He said, me and your auntie would just sit in amazement. He said, we all underestimated you. He said, we thought it was going to be Marvin, that he would go do great things because he listened, and it just seemed like you wouldn't listen to nobody. You was just your own way or whatever. And he said, now that we see, and he said, not that Marvin ain't a good guy and good, but he said, it was you. And he said, my wife said, I knew it all the time. He had an influence and a leadership that's going to lead him great places. He said, I want to let you know you just scratched the surface. Now, it blew my mind because he's not even one like, he's not churchy. He don't even know nothing about, like, you don't spoke a word in my life and none of that. But I knew and I understood and I embraced what he said because I understood what it meant. And he began to say, you've influenced me. I went to speak at a school, and I began to tell the children, and we pulled up your website, and I put it up there, and I put it on the screen to show them what you could be. Now, here it is, all over influence, a seed that I don't know nothing about way over here in Minnesota that's sprouting up because of something that I did right here in New Jersey. Children that I don't even know, I never met, but there's an influence, your seed, your power of your influence. So the enemy's he's out to kill you, destroy you, not kill you because kill you will be the end of it, but he wants to destroy your influence. So he's out to destroy. He don't want to kill you. He want to destroy you. He wants you to watch yourself and say, I never did it. I never accomplished it. I never went after it. He wants you to lie in that place of misery. They say, I never went after it, because he killed you to be over. But he wants you to suffer and hurt behind it. That thing moved me, and it touched something in me. And I kept remembering, I said, this is enough to push me to my next level. Because I know now, and it's okay that people doubt. It's okay that people didn't have an expectation of me. Yeah. It's okay that they looked over me, because God looked on me. And had they never looked over me, he might have not never looked on me and say, you the one. And I'm like, but I'm just a little child. I don't even know what I'm doing. See, they look at it. I'm like, God, I'm still learning as I go. I don't even know full what I'm doing, but I'm trying, I'm grinding, and I'm giving it all I got. I'm having to try this and do that. And I'm like, God, all I want to do, I'm just going to do whatever I can find my hands to do, to be busy about it and keep laying it on the altar. I'm willing to do it because I believe it's going to end up to something great. He said, I don't know how to go out or come in. I don't even know how to handle what you're giving me. Anybody feel like that? Like, God, you telling me I'm going to do all that, I don't even know how to handle that. You telling me I'm going to go places, I don't even know how to handle that. And I looked, I said, God, you took me to 3 countries in 3 weeks to do 3 shows. And I sat back and said, wow. 3 weeks, 3 shows, 3 different shows in 3 different countries. See, that may not be nothing to nobody, but it blew my mind. I ain't never even think I was even going to Africa. I've been all over Africa. I'm like, Lord, look at you. Better do that then, God, you know. When I seen that thing on CNN, y'all don't understand. I almost did a split if I could have went down in one. When I saw that CNN, I was like, ah! I said, nobody but you. I had to walk. I said, God, you did that. Shoot. You know how I love CNN. God, you put me on CNN. I was like, oh, you better watch it. Y'all don't understand, because when you watch something and then God places you on something that you watch, it's an indication of where he's taking. See, God keep giving us indicators that you're going somewhere. Somebody tell you, don't miss the signal. God is signaling you. That he's about to do something great. You ain't even went fully into it. He's giving you an indicator that something great is about to come out of all your suffering, out of all your pain, out of all your misunderstanding, out of all, there's something great. There's an indication. Oh. Woo. Listen, verse 8. Listen what he said. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. There's going to be a mass influence that you about to have. Shh. Y'all going to miss it because this ain't for everybody. He's about, you. See, we don't did things like, okay, let me do this because then this. He is about to do it. He's about to expand your borders and lengthen your cords. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. There's some things about to happen, and you got to position yourself. See, it ain't time to get ready. It's time to be ready. Like, if you really believe this, he keeps saying, be ready. Be ready to give a show. Be ready to move. Have a bag packed. By faith, I'm going to have a bag packed ready for me to travel because I believe I'm about to travel. I ain't going to wait. That's how ready. That's what I believe. And see, because when you really, I'm going to be ready just to go. Passport, current, I'm ready to go. Because I believe that level of readiness is going to open the door. Because if you got to get ready, it's going to pass you by. There's a level of readiness that we have to have if we really believe what we say. It's a multitude. He said, listen, you chosen this people and chosen me to lead them. See, what you're in has been already selected. So it ain't like you get with something that has not been selected. You've been selected to lead something that's been selective. So it's already been pulled out. It's been called out to be different from everything else. And you got to discern. That's why people keep trying to pull you out of place. Do something else. Don't get stuck. Now, you know this ain't. Do you know how many people try this and they never comes of it? Yeah, I do. It just ain't me. See, had I listened to my family, and then against family, I love my mother. I love Mary. You hear me? I love Mary. But Mary couldn't see what I saw. When I had a dream at 13 years old and I saw people walking up and down the runway in my clothes and they laughed. They thought it was a joke. But who laughing now? See, they looked and they thought it was a joke, but to me it wasn't funny. See, nobody, when people laugh at your dream, it's not funny, it's hurtful. Y'all ain't real. See, nobody talks about that part when somebody laughed at something that was meaningful to you. Or they downgraded, or they talked down on it, or they minimized something that was great in your eyes and made it look like something that was nothing. Something that was going to be costly for you and as if something cheap. But see, this is why you got to be driven by purpose and not by people. Because had I not, where I am now, and that's why I keep telling people, go for it. And that's why I keep helping people, because I understand what it is to have a dream and have a goal and have a vision. And nobody supports it until you don't have the energy to push it yourself. Until you end up giving and staggering. What's happening in my life at 51 years old probably could have happened for me at 25. Had somebody believed in me. See, people can believe in your education but not believe in your dream. My mother believed, oh, you smart, and you went got scholarship to go to college, yeah, all of that. But not, you're not smart enough to do this. See, you got to watch the subtleties. You're smart enough to do what I think, this box I've got for you, but you're not smart enough to go in a box that you define yourself. But now, who been involved? who been in GQ? Who been in faith? It's me. But it would not have happened if I would have believed them over him. I understood. I had a connection with purpose and nobody could shake it. And I was in waiting on my opportunity. And when it came, I took it. See, don't despise the day of small beginnings. What you may have to do great may start really small. See, that's what people don't understand. See, if you get one opportunity, everybody wants you to start at the top. They want you to go right here and, okay, oh, you just walk, okay, Lorraine, just go walk in Paris. As soon as you come in, you walk one show and let it be Paris. You got to walk your way to Paris. Y'all don't hear me. You don't just get to step on Paris runway in Milan. You got to walk your way to something great. It's a journey. We look at people and we just think they instantaneously got there. I was telling somebody, they were looking at the life of Beyonce and they was watching her singing her mother's salon in L.A. She was in there singing in the salon while people were getting their hair done before she got sold-out stadium. It was a long way. She was on Star Search. They didn't win. But she kept on singing. See, you can't let disappointment let people think you that success goes from one step to the next. All right. Y'all will get it tomorrow. I'm almost done. Give these for therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? He said, I just want to understand. I just want to have the ability to judge this thing well. I want to be the ability to do this thing the right way. That's all I want to know. God, lead me. Show me how to do it right. That's why I keep telling God, there's a lot of ways to do it, but I want to do it right. There's so many crooked ways to this thing, but I want to do it the right way. Because I want what I do to last. I don't want to be an overnight wonder and then nobody hear from you anymore. I don't want to be a one-shot wonder. There's some people, they had one hit and we didn't hear from them no more. They got their one hit wonder and they gone. You want to be something that's going to stay, sustain. He said, give me an understanding heart. Ask God, God, help me understand my process. Help me understand why I keep saying, God, why do I have to deal with all these crazy people? Help me understand why. He said, because you're a little crazy. I said, okay, well, that helps me. But I want to understand. I want a heart for people. That I can discern be good and bad, and not just the good that people do. I got to be able to tell people, there's a better way to do that. There's a more excellent way. I didn't come to talk about you. I just come to tell you, hey, Mary, you ever thought about doing it this way? There's a better way to do it. Who is able to judge this great? So people quit minimizing people around you because you think you're better than them. Sometimes, because we are greater than our circumstance, it is difficult for us to judge them correctly. Huh? And we got to say, help me to judge them the right way. Don't let me misjudge them because I feel like I'm greater than them. Don't let me misjudge them because it seems like I'm doing better than them. I can't get no help here. Don't let me, because I'm doing things better, don't let me throw it off. Because let me tell you, whoever God has sent you to, he see greatness in them too. It ain't just you great. He's sending you great because he chose you, but he's sending you in the midst of greatness too. And that level lets you know what God can trust you when he can trust you with people who just as great or greater than you. Then you know you something when he can trust you with that. Amen? And the Bible says in the speech pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this thing. God get pleased in your humility. You recognizing everybody. You're not just saying, oh, I'm great, I got it going on, it's all about me. But when you recognize the greatness of others, God respects that. It pleased him to say, oh, okay, you don't just see you great. You know that I chose you out of other great people too. That's what we have to do. We have to understand, yeah, you may be better than those. You're better at some things, but they don't make you better than. Amen. He said, the speech pleased the Lord. That Solomon asked the thing. Let what you say please God. Let God look at you and say, hey, I like that you admitted that. I like that you didn't put yourself so high. I like the fact that you humbled yourself. I like the fact that you looked and said, okay, God, I know it ain't just me. Amen. And the Bible saying, God said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, thou hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast thou asked for riches for thyself, nor hast thou asked the life of thy enemy, but thou hast for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Tell your neighbor, don't be selfish in this hour. You ask this thing, but you not ask just for yourself. Quit being selfish. In this season, you cannot afford to be caught up in selfishness. It can't be just, even though it's about you, it's got to be about you, about everything else. You got to see how you fit into the bigger picture of everything. He said, you not ask for long life, now that you ask for riches for thyself. Quit begging to be rich. You can't even handle the budget you own. That's why you broke. Sometimes we need wisdom to handle money before you get any more. So you don't blow what you got before and be back in the same state again. He said, no, you life at the end of God, just don't let them make it. I know y'all wouldn't say that. But there's some people, they don't care if they don't make it as long as you don't. Okay, if I don't dream my dream, just don't let them achieve theirs. There are people who, even if they don't make it, they will be satisfied if you don't. I know that sounds crazy, but it's people who actually think like that, who look at you and jealous in the cut. I'm scared of that spirit. When people jealous, I tell my kids, when you get a friend and they're jealous, you run for your life. Because that jealousy will kill you. They'll destroy your character. They'll go after you. There's no limitations when a person is jealous of you that they'll do. The level of betrayal that they will go to get at you, there's no cap on it. And you know what? We need discernment because you don't even know who's jealous around you because they smile and laugh with you the whole while. They're saying, don't let them make it. I hope it don't work out for them. They'll sabotage you behind your back. They'll talk about you. They'll go and talk against you. They'll try to throw. You have to be careful. That's why you have to pray and say, Lord, show me who's on my team. Show me who's for me. In this hour, you got to know who really got your back. And I know they sad to say sometimes it ain't family. No, my family is good, and I don't receive. I reject that in the name of Jesus. Okay, that won't all you be rejected. Sometimes they have to see after it's done. Listen, every step I make, I listen with a grain of salt. I have to go what God done showed me. I can't trust what they saying. I got to go what he showed me, because everything he showed me, he's doing. And they never saw it. And I wouldn't be where I am. And I'm not even really there where he's positioning me. And this is why you can't beg for reason. I said, Lord, I was in which comment, y'all. I'm going to be honest. I felt like Africa was robbing me. I felt like somebody had a gun and they were robbing me. I said, I felt like I was being robbed. The money they was giving for me, I felt like I was being robbed. I mean, I was having to bribe to get my luggage, get stuff through. I'm just like, it's like every corner they was after me. Oh, we need this from you. You need to get this. Oh, your models are in the lobby, $50. They use the bathroom. What? I got to pay for them to use the bathroom? The bathroom? I know y'all got wells here. No, see. I know y'all. Now, they ain't use that much water. Like, they acting like they just flushing the water. Everywhere I went, it was like boom, boom, boom. And I was getting frustrated. I said, God, I don't have it. And God spoke to me. He said, I do. And I was getting frustrated because then my attitude was changing with people. I was like, listen, don't play with me. Like, you know, you start getting mad. Your money get funny, you get mad. That's just being honest. Because you know what you got to do. I'm thinking I got to get home. As soon as I get home, I got to go out of town again, and then I have to go out of town again. Like, you know, and I'm like, God, I don't have it. And this wasn't even a part of the budget. I don't got all the way over here. Now I'm finding about all these things that are not a part of the budget that's on me. And the Lord, he said, I got it. And I just rested. And y'all, every bill that I had when I went that I spent, God he covered. He did that. Y'all don't even understand what I spent, but I'm telling you, I'm looking, and I keep checking. I was like, that couldn't have went through. And I keep looking at, I said, that did go through. How that went through? Then I look at that, and I was like, well, how'd that go? And I know it was God because I know what I had. I went off a skeleton crew. Talking about money. You know how you go to skeletons, you be like, Lord, this is all I got and nothing more. But he made a way. And this is what God told me. He said, I will never allow you to go to a place I have not already provided. And I was like, Lord, because what we do, we keep looking at people. And even though God uses people, he don't rain it down from the sky, you can't get caught up in the people. Because God got another way. And y'all, I was about to be upset because I'm like, Lord, I'm like, these people over here trying to rob me. They playing with me. They playing with my money. I felt I was just getting frustrated. And then I'm waiting 7 to 8 hours, and it was just getting crazier and crazier. And I'm just ready to go home. And the enemy wanted me to curse and speak against what had already blessed me. Yeah, I'm telling you, don't curse the place of your provision. Because guess what? That may be the place where God has purposed your faith. If not for Botswana, my faith level, I wouldn't be able to see that God is a provider. He used Botswana to show me that he can provide. See, we keep looking at what people done to us instead of what God did for us. You got to learn how to look at what God is doing for you and quit looking at what people done to you. Look at what God did for you. And see, we keep overshadowing what God's doing by looking at what people didn't do right. And so I begin to say, that's why I stopped complaining. I said, I'm not going to complain about Botswana. Because, God, I see what you did for me. Because when I look, you made a way. You made a way. And guess what? He isn't done yet. And then even from that place, he's opening doors. Not just for me. Your influence, he's making a way for. See, that's why you can't, because if you curse the, listen, it's because this is important. If you curse the provision for you, you curse the influence for somebody else. And if what you spoke dies for you, you kill somebody else's dream. So I had to be careful what comes out of here. Because just in my frustration and in my ear, that's why sometimes you get frustrated, close your mouth. When you find yourself in a place of irritation, don't speak if you can't speak the right thing. If your tongue is not disciplined, be quiet. Now, there's a difference in being quiet and going silent. Don't be in, like Lewis do. Like, don't do that. Don't be in no funk like Lewis. Lewis will get silent. He be like, he get one word answer. Lewis, you hungry? No. Oh, Lewis, you watch anything on TV? What? Nothing. Lewis, what are you saying? I said nothing. You want to know Lewis mad? Start asking questions. He'll give you one word, and it'll be soft. You'll be like, what? You be like, huh? And then he be looking at it in frustration like, I said nothing. He's like, I couldn't hear you though. And he like, oh, he get mad. He won't eat in there. He's like, you want something to eat? And then after he get mad, he be like, can I have one? Then he'll wait you leave and steal it and eat it. So you have to be like, I'm not going to be silent. We got to go from there, and we got to walk through what God has for us. Because let me tell you something. Even if he said, thou hast not asked thyself thy enemy, but thou hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. God, help me to know the path you have already paved for me. God has paved the path for you, and you need to understand what that path is so you can walk therein. Everything that is uncomfortable for you is not a curse to you. It's a place of provision for you. Everything that's challenging for you is not your enemy. It's your friend. Some stuff that's so easy for you, you be weary of. Because that's no good for you. Quit being afraid of challenges. Some things are going to challenge you, but it's making you, it's going to develop you. God is breaking some fears off of you. He's breaking fear. That's what's happening. What's going on? What's going on? He's breaking fear. You fear for tomorrow, your future, what lies ahead. This is a very strange season because it's a season of faith. You've not come this way before. He sent me right back to the book of Joshua. That's what I'm at. My personal study time. He sent me back to Joshua. He said, be strong and be very courageous. Because what I'm doing for you, I've never done for anybody before. You've not come this way before. You don't know your way. You've never come this way of faith. You've never come this way of favor. And the level of people that you got to deal with, you don't. This is unfamiliar territory to you. So I'm gonna tell you, if you are where I am, you need to be reading Joshua because you're gonna have to. And tell him again, be strong and very courageous. You can't be timid. You can't back up. Things are gonna come. Why would he tell you to be strong and courageous? Because things come to intimidate you. Things come to make you back down and back up. But he said, I'm with you. And then he says, I'm going to give you not just success, good success. I'm telling you, go back to Joshua. That's what I meant. I'm like, okay, God, I need to know. Because the enemy, I had to go to Jeremiah. He said, I know what my plans for you. Plans of success. Because the enemy keep making you think you're going to fail and things going to fall apart. I said, God, you got plans of success for me, and I have to keep moving, that there are plans for me to succeed. So then I had to go back to being very courageous. Because success is a price. Success is also a plan. You're going to have to plan your success. By faith. Quit looking for everything to be done and solidified before you step out on what he said. Just believe what he said enough. You provide the faith, God will provide the way. And I don't know who this is, but the Lord said, quit being fearful financially. He said, stop letting finance cause you to fear. Because he's the God of abundance. He has it. He knows how to show you and instruct you to get it. Then he said, I give you the power to get wealth. The ability to get wealth. It comes from God. I said, okay, God, he gives us ideas. He touches your mind, gives us witty inventions and ideas to get wealth, things that you wouldn't even think of. Just think of what people are doing and they getting money. You're like, what? They getting paid off of that? He gave them the power to get wealth. And we get ideas and we put it to the side. We don't do nothing with it. And then somebody else, we like, I thought about that 3 years ago. Remember? I ain't fooling with you, Lorraine. Listen, so you got to remember that be open up your mind, and when you get something, just jot it down. I know that God is getting ready to bless this, because this is the best year of our life. God is doing more for us this year than he's ever done. But you got to watch your flesh. Discipline yourself. Don't just feel a freedom just to do everything. There's some things God give you the liberty to do that you have to draw back and say, but I'm not going to do it right now. Just because you have the ability to do it, it may not be expedient for you to do it now. Because the enemy wants you, he don't want you sober in your thinking. Don't let nothing cause you emotionally, intellectually, or even physically to cause you not to be sober, that you don't be clear in your thought pattern about what you have to do. You got to be sober-minded. Like how you think of things. You can't be so emotional that you can't, like, okay. This is somebody say, I love you. You got to be sober. Like, okay. 3 days and you love me, okay. But that's still possible. What take the limit off? If that's your desire, then don't limit it to somebody it's going to take 3 years. If that's your desire. It don't take him long. It take you to believe what he said. A lot of times God said, I can't move because you've already boxed me in. And this is how and when and where, and that's it. And if I move outside those perimeters, you'll say it's not me and not recognize the blessing. I'm going to leave it right there. Listen, don't forget to work on for your 6 days, your 3 goals. 6 days, you're supposed to work on the goal and 1 day of rest. He wants to do something. He wants to show you something in your labor, in your consistency, in your discipline. Amen? All right, somebody give God praise.